All right. Yesterday was Sunday. It was Mother's Day, and we don't do shows on Mother's Day or on Sundays typically. But shout out to all the mothers from the one and only Mr. T.
Mother, there is no other. Like mother, so treat her right. Yeah. Mother, I always love her. Yeah. My mother, so treat her right. Treat her right. Image for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that you felt when I was born. Always for the oven with its burning heat, where she stood making sure I had something to eat. T is for the time that she stayed up night, for my temperature when I wasn't feeling right. H is for the hard-earned money she spent to keep clothes on my back to pay the rent. E is every wrinkle I put on her face and every worry that I called when I stayed out late. The last letter R is that you taught me respect, and for the room up in heaven that I know she'll get. Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I always love her. My mother,
yeah, my mother.
So treat her right, treat her right.
Treat her right.
Oh no.
Treat your mother right.
Oh no.
Treat her right.
Oh
Treat
no.
her right.
My mother, so treat her right, treat her right.
Yeah. Treat
Mr.
T.
The Pointer Sisters in the background are the best part of that video. That's great. Holy cow. Mr. Taro.
Those are the real Pointer Sisters.
Yeah. He's still alive, right? Mr. T?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
I think he should have apologized for that song. Forget about all the stuff. All the stuff that he put about. Yeah, I do a bit in my act where I say, the majority of the word mother is other, because if you can read into this, if you're a woman and you're married and you have children, the majority of your life is concerning yourself with others, your husband, your family life, your children. Conversely, if you're a man and you have children, you're a father because you would rather be farther away from the whole pale of shit. But they know. I don't. When Father Day come around, I'm not gonna have a song. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna run. Fathers, get out the neighborhood. Plus, I tell you, it ain't gonna be no good. You're gonna have childrens running.
Children.
Yeah. Come on, bro, let me finish the song. You're gonna have childrens running round the block because there was a time where you took out your stuff. Anyway, mothers, go check my song. It won't be long. You won't feel wrong. Get along. It's Mr. T. That's it. All right.
Yeah, maybe you need to apologize now.
Down goes Frazier.
No, he needs to apologize. That cereal was horrible. Have you ever tried that Mr. T cereal? It was bad.
Well, it was all those chains in it that broke your teeth. That was
Jesus, John.
It was Mr. T cereal. It had jewelry in it.
Hubcaps from DC Cab.
Oh my God. That
great
video
movie, by the way.
was so early, late 70s, early 80s too. Other, there ain't no other. Well, we just started out with a little fun because stuff is coming out fast and furious.
Wow.
Oh my God. It's Phil has been sending me an avalanche of stuff, and I've been trying to keep up with it in addition to doing my own looking around, and it's pretty overwhelming. So we'll start with this came out last night. We'll talk about actually let's go to Trump Netanyahu.
Okay.
Because
he's in Sweden, Switzerland today.
They were in huge trade deal was announced yesterday. Right. George Bessent. What's his first name? It's not George. What the hell is his name? Is it George?
Mike Bessent, isn't it?
Bessent. He came out and he said that a trade agreement had been reached.
Scott Bessent.
A trade agreement had been reached with China, which is huge. That's what leads me to believe that this stuff has been in the works for a long, long time, and we're only seeing the culmination of it now. because 2 days you go to Geneva and suddenly, in the midst of that's never going to happen. Oh my God, we're so far. And in 2 days you have an agreement, a trade agreement. So the rumor is that
you heard why. Like Bessent actually talked about it. He said China didn't adhere to any of the agreements that they had under Biden because they said Biden was weak.
Oh, interesting.
Did you hear about that? Here, I actually
not.
have it for you if you want it. Here you go. I'm going to pop it in the chat right now. This guy, Scott Bessent, is awesome, by the way.
He's an assassin. Also, Trump either picks people to expose or to support. It seems as if one or the other. That last thing that you sent me?
Yep, the last thing that I sent you.
Okay.
That's incredible. I mean, for 4 years, we thought it was just us that we were
Right,
like, oh, this
right.
guy's a wacko. But, like, is that really him? Falling asleep, all that. But when other countries, like, it was actual fact now it's coming out.
Dude, that was such an embarrassment. And I honestly think that he's being the new handlers, the old handlers, actually, whatever, as far as his interview with The View, it was so obvious
God.
what that was. I think that's just to keep in the zeitgeist of the people what we were just put through, and we can't let it slip away for what's about to unfold in front of us.
When you watch that Biden interview on The View, though, did you see how it exposed Jill even more?
Oh my God!
Jill?
Yeah, she jumped in and started Dr. Jill.
Oh my God!
It was like that old Bobby Slayton joke. Bobby Slayton goes, "I got in a cab in New York City. The guy turns around to me and he says, 'In my country, I'm a doctor. Hey, pal, in your country, I'm a doctor. Drive the cab.'" Yeah, Dr. Jill. And it's I don't know if it's an honorary or a PhD, but Whoopi actually said, "Why don't we have her as the Surgeon General?" Because she's not a medical doctor, you idiot. All right, so I love this. Neither side wants generalized decoupling. Okay, I'm curious what that means. But all right, let's see what he says.
What has to happen is it has to be fair for the American people. But in January 2020, President Trump produced a template. We had an excellent trade agreement with China, and the Biden administration chose not to enforce it. The Chinese delegation basically told us that once President Biden came into office, they just ignored their obligations. So, we all already have a large framework. The other thing to remember here, Jonathan, is that this is a pause down to 10%. The April 2nd level for China is 34%. So we will be working to see where their final reciprocal number ends up. And the negotiations are a combination of tariffs, non-tariff trade barriers, currency manipulation, and subsidies of labor and capital.
All right, so there you have it.
Is that incredible?
Yeah,
they just ignored him. They ignored him, John.
Just ignored him, right? And he did nothing. Yeah, and
Jesus.
that idiot, what's her name? Anna Navarro went on CNN, and Scott Jennings bitch slapped her back into reality. He said, "Wait, do you see?" I guess Fake Tapper is coming out with a book. He's switched now.
Fake Tapper.
Fake Tapper is coming out with a book about how bad Biden was. Now, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why Fake Tapper fits so well for him, because now he's coming out with a book. He was a whistleblower. He was a canary in a coal mine. Yank. So
right.
But Scott Bessent turned to her. It's amazing that he's on that show. Actually, it's not amazing that he's on that show. He's what we're heading toward. He's dragging these idiots along into reality, or into reason, I should say. And he turned to her and he goes, "You're about to have a nuclear bomb dropped on your party," he said to her on air. And she was like, "Oh, so you were watching the show, but thank you very much. Oh, that's all right." And all I want to say to her is, "What time you going to be over to clean my house, honey? Because that's about all you're good for, you moron." Other things. So that was amazing news, especially after Peppermint Patty Jensaki went on the night before he announced his big trade deals with the UK and other countries. She went on and, "So Mr. Art of the Deal has yet to strike his big deal. Well, what are you going to do now, honey? You going to cover this?" And I love when he sat down with what's her name? Kristen Welker. Who's the chick that
Yes.
was
Yes, the
Kristen Welker.
sorority sister of Kamala
Right,
Harris.
and she's leaning into him, going, "You said this was going to come down. That was going to, the price of strollers is skyrocketing." I don't know how he maintained himself, but he caught it. He was like, "The price of strollers." He was like, "Honey, strollers is not big business. Gasoline, groceries, that's big business." Mr. President, do you know what it costs these days to purchase a number 2 pencil? It's out of control.
I would love him to sit down with Jen Psaki, though, because nobody deals with people better than Trump. You can send
amazing.
Stephen Miller out, you can send them all out, but Trump has a way of dismantling them in a way. I mean, what he's done to some of these reporters, what he did to ABC, what he did to, like you just said, NBC. I mean, he's systematically taking them through. I can't wait.
Right, he's just right, yeah. Well,
because he's not afraid.
I just found this out this morning. In 1988, his mother, who was probably at least in her 60s at that point, maybe even older, got mugged. And she had to go to the hospital because she got injured fighting back. That was his mother. They tried to take her purse, and she swung back. Okay? I love it. Talk about mothers. It took about a thumbs up on her. Let me get back to Mr. D. Mother. Don't mess with Trump's mother. Because if you do, there is no other. So in some fun, little bit lighter news, apparently other world leaders enjoy their party.
Oh my God. Did you see this Macron stuff?
This was pretty amazing. This was like being in the green room at the Comedy Store in 1988.
Did you see his eyes in the clip?
Yeah,
Did you
dude,
see
yes.
they were tweaked out.
Yes. So
John, they just got done with a meeting with Zelensky. So who do you think got him the coke?
Dude, he is constant. Well, and flash back to the coke they found in the White House. Everyone speculates it was Hunter's, but maybe he got it through his Zelensky Ukrainian sources. I don't know.
Permission to be Phil?
Phil, can I just say one thing? You never, as far as you are concerned, you never have to ask permission, but from time to time you do have to apologize. Let's put
for this one I do.
You don't need permission to be Phil, because you know you're like a junkyard dog. There's a sign over the fence that says beware of Phil. And if you come into the junkyard, you're gonna get bitten.
John, I mean, think about it though now. You have the coke now. You have the coke now.
Okay, right.
Hunter was making deals in the Ukraine. Remember Burisma, all that crap? Zelensky, Hunter,
yes,
Coke buddies.
Coke buddies, yes.
Do you think Joe survived that whole time? I'm not saying entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
What if that's what was keeping him going the whole time? Give him a little yip here, a little yip there. I mean, there's no questioning Hunter was all tweaked out on the patio on the terrace of the White House, 4th of July, I think it was.
And
and
watching the telltale signs, the indicators. Again, evidence is not proof, but
angry.
Angry. Right. Agitated.
Yeah.
And Trump, even from time to time, referencing when he was going up against Sleepy Joe, he goes, "Yeah, some days he comes out, he's ready to fall asleep. Other times he's wide awake and ready to go." He goes, "We should do a drug test." And when he says stuff like that, when he says stuff like that repeatedly, he's not joking.
John, who would have thought? But now you think the pinstripe suit. Biden was wearing a pinstripe suit. Do you remember that?
What president ever wore a pinstripe suit?
A president does coke.
You know what? All right, so let's check it out. This came out on our sounds. You heard it here first. You're going to see these guys. Sit down. They're going to get a little bundle. And all I'm going to say is
so much.
Explains a lot. The permission to be Phil. You're going to see Phil.
But really, it all that money to the Ukraine, coke money.
Stand by one. Here we go. Watch this. Look at the bundle on the table. Look at the bundle on the table. Did they get caught? They're in. Looks like they're in a train car. They are, dude.
They're in a
train-
closet.
They're in a train. They're in a train car. Hold on, stand by.
Oh man.
It's a long walk. I'll be back in Poland.
Look, there's the spoon on the table.
Right? Water, because they got that cotton mouth. They got that
Oh,
wire jaw.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's vodka. Who knows?
Oh, there you go.
We got through the border.
Hey, don't forget your bundle, Macron. Oh, I didn't let me get that out.
Oh, that was so slick. Can you go back on that?
Oh
Look
my!
at how slick.
What sleight of hand, Lance Burton?
God.
Oh my God! David Copperfield just made the half ounce, the 8-ball disappear. He's
John,
so good.
Oh my God, you've been around people in green rooms who've had Coke and they see people walk into the room and they're like, get that out of there. That's what that was.
That's exactly what that was. And even if let's say, all right, it was some kind of baggie with white powder. Let's say it wasn't that. Why are you hiding it like this? And then watch the right hand. Watch how he gets rid of it. This is the part that to me was the exclamation point on the gotcha. Watch him. Oh yeah. Look over here, not over there.
Right. Oh wow, that is beautiful. I love this clip.
And
Spoon Man over there. Did you see the spoon though?
yeah, I know this. Yeah, this gets
Podesta over there.
Yeah, Stanway. Yeah, he covered that up too. Yeah, Podesta. Yeah, he does look like Podesta.
Right. Well, they all have that look.
And this is Jim Gaffigan's sister over here.
If Rosie O'Donnell and Jim Gaffigan had a baby,
Rosie O'Gaffigan. This is the offspring right here.
holy shit!
Rosie, he has a pangina because he's going to have a split penis and a vagina, a pangina or a pengina. Yeah, watch. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh,
What is he getting rid of?
in there. Ha, 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 ha. And this guy covered up the. You don't see it. The close-up still photos of him covering the spoon are just as incriminating.
John, what did the guy on the left throw on the floor? Did you see that?
Ooh, let's watch again. Good catch, Phil. Let's see.
He has something in his right hand. Watch.
Yeah, I
this.
see that. Right. Yeah. Maybe he's just sweeping off the residue. Oh, he did a little.
What was that?
Yeah, this is a guilty face if I've ever seen. Look, both of these. Is anybody watching? Look at this. Huh? Who's seeing this? He's scanned. They're both scanning the room to see who's caught them. Look at these guys.
The eyes on Macron and that
Oh
nose.
my
That
God,
nose. There's been
dude.
some substances going on that little.
These are two little kids that literally got their hand caught in a cookie jar. Come on,
Wow.
come on, man.
Wait a minute. Is that Macron's husband just not in drag?
Yeah. No, I told you who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see this. This guy. Yeah, you got rid of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ha, 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 ha. Look at these dirty. You got caught, dudes. Wow.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
As a police officer,
Yeah.
you walk into that room. What's the first thing do you do? Do you go to the floor? Do you tell him to empty his hands? What do you do first?
Well, first thing I tell him is stop whatever you're doing, and just leave your hands on the table where I can see them. And then depending on I don't know, there's you have to look at the totality of circumstances. You can't just go in and start searching people. Well, I don't know what country they're in, but here, they have rights. But
Would that be probable cause?
That would not be probable cause. Why am I here? Firstly, who did I get called here? Was there a fight in here? I can't just walk in on these people. You know what I mean? As a police officer, what brought me here? If there was a complaint and this was not their place and someone said they're in there doing coke, I saw them. Absolutely, I'm going to say, what is that? You just took off the thing. If now I have a reasonable, at least reasonable suspicion, I'd have to think about.
So one of those photographers goes, "Hey, officer, I just saw this guy brush something off the table. Can you come and look at this?"
Well, if he just did it, I could take his word for it. I'd go, again, what's the totality of circumstance? Let's say I walk in and I see residue under their nose. I saw the spoon before he scooped it up. You know what I mean? It's
So now the reason I asked that was a
Investigation.
qualifying question. That was permission to be filled one more time.
permission
Now
to be
that we
filled.
saw that on the table, Alex Jones did a close-up. Is there any way now, it's only been 24 hours, what if we do a drug test on him now? Is there probable cause there saying that we've seen enough? That's a world leader.
A drug test, You cannot force a drug test on some. In fact, you can't force it ever unless it's there's an accident, specifically a car accident, and you can get a warrant. Like when someone goes to the hospital and they're admitted into the emergency room, if they do blood samples, you can shoot them a I forget what the hell they called it, a letter of basically a letter of intent telling them those vials are now going to be part of an ongoing criminal investigation. I need you to hold those, and then you can get a warrant and have them tested. But you can't force them into a drug test.
So there's no chance of anyone from France going, "Hey, we saw that video. We got to check this guy out. Let's just throw him a drug test."
No, you can't make him take a drug test. No. And like I said, even if again, I don't know what the laws are in France or wherever the hell that was. Was that France?
I don't know. He's just the president of France. So I was thinking maybe the people do something.
He's married to a dude dressed as a woman. What kind of rules do you think they have? Yeah.
It just gets weirder, John, because you saw the footage of them, him and his husband, wife, whatever it is, walking out of a fake fuselage of a plane too. Like they had it set up like a stage. Have you seen that footage?
No.
I'll dig that up for you too before the end of the show. But there's so much weird stuff with Macron. It's like they've got to be doing this on purpose.
Yeah. Now I didn't see this yet, but you sent it to me. This is Tulsi Gabbard
Oh my God.
calling
Again. Yep. Adam Schiff.
An enemy of the state. I mean, this is more than provocative language. This is someone who's in a position to act on those statements. And if she's saying it, I can't imagine that this is rhetoric or
right,
or just her shooting her mouth off.
The mob that stormed the Capitol on January 6th to try to stop Congress from carrying out its constitutional responsibilities were behaving like domestic enemies of our country. But let's be clear. The John Brennans, Adam Schiffs, and the oligarchs in big tech who are trying to
First of all, I was there at January 6th. The mob, quote unquote, the crowd that was there was being instigated by several hundred FBI collaborators, if not agents themselves. So there was no mob.
undermine our constitutionally protected rights and turn our country into a police state with KGB-style surveillance are also domestic enemies and much more powerful.
She has to qualify it with that opening statement. I was there. I saw what they did. They waved people into the Capitol.
And therefore dangerous than the mob that stormed the Capitol. Now, John Brennan said,
So I know looking forward that the members of the Biden team who have been nominated or have been appointed are now moving in laser-like fashion to try to uncover as much as they can about what looks very similar to insurgency movements that we've seen overseas, where they germinate in different parts of the country and they gain strength, and it brings together an unholy alliance frequently of religious extremists, authoritarians, fascists, bigots, racists, nativists, even libertarians.
now, President Biden, I call upon you and all members of Congress from both parties to denounce these efforts by the likes of Brennan and others.
How old is this video, dude?
I just saw this over the weekend. So it's only a few days, I'm guessing.
Is this, no, look at her hair. Her hair is all gray now up here. I don't think this is a recent video. I
Take
think this
away
is a
our
repost.
civil liberties that are endowed to us by our Creator and guaranteed in
I think this is an older post that somebody just reposted.
Okay, let it play out. Let's see.
Stand by one.
Constitution. If you don't stand up to these people now, then our country will be in great peril.
So she's calling for him to stand up, and I don't think she'd been appointed yet to
Okay.
she's DNI, Director of National Intelligence. Is that her?
Intelligence, right. But she could do something about it. So why not, now that she's in power, follow it up? I mean, you call someone an enemy of the state, and you
But
know
that-
the January 6th stuff was all.
That was all stagecraft. It was all stagecraft. Well, except
they got to do something.
well, even we, the people being there. When Trump, said, "I'm asking you to come down," I didn't realize at that time the full involvement of our government in the deceit and the corruption, I really was clueless, but I knew I had seen enough to go, all right, this guy has stood up for things I believe in. I'm only 5 hours from DC. I can
Right.
I can show up and support this. And that's why I went. And I truly thought our presence there was going to give them pause, at least, to like, whoa, there's a lot of people here to think that what we're doing is wrong. And I had no clue what was going on. The manipulation between him as a show of power with the people, them deceiving much of us that were there and running into the Capitol. Although I will say this, there's so much footage of patriots up on the edge of that wave that were keeping these people from causing harm to, the destroying property and breaking in. There were plenty of us out there going, hey, we don't do that. That's not us. But they didn't. That's not the story that went out. The story that went out was, the mob that attacked the Capitol. Bullshit. We were a peaceful protest that got manipulated into moving down there, and the shit stirrers were part of the federal government. Now, not to say that some MAGA supporters didn't go over the top and go, yeah, let's go in and do that. But they were the exception, not the rule. The rule was people like me who were like, whoa, what is this shit? We didn't come down here for this.
Right. I remember when you called me.
Right.
You called me from there and you didn't know what was going on. You were like, what do you mean? When I told you all the stuff that was going down, you had no idea.
Right.
That anything nefarious was going on. If you remember when you called me, you were like, oh, it's a beautiful day. Phil, it's beautiful. People are singing. You told me about people actually singing and everything
Playing
in the morning.
Together.
Yeah.
My family members, including my brother, who's not a religious guy, we stood in a circle of people we just met. There had to be 50, 60 of us. And we held hands, we sang song, and we prayed. And then all the news showed was a handful of MAGAs that got drawn up in it, and about 200 undercover FBIs that led the charge. And the deaths of Capitol District police officers. No police officers died that day. Zero, none. Zilch, nada. Somebody died later on of a heart attack. Good luck connecting that with January 6th. The only one that died that day was Ashley Babbitt.
Yep.
Ashley Babbitt. And she died at the hands of a certainly suspect DC police officer who then got an award for shooting an unarmed woman, veteran. Yeah. Insanity. And they're still leaning into that shit. It's really obnoxious.
Real quick, at the bottom of the chat, the Macron fake plane thing with his wife. Maybe you can shed some light on this. When I saw it, I was like, that's got to be fake, but it's not.
Stand by one. Phil, oh my God. What? Dude, what the hell is
That's
going
why
on?
I'm saying there's something up with this guy and his husband. It's just very strange. Explain that.
What the hell? Oh, come on. What is this? What is this?
When we have our ombudsman, Kevin Downey Jr., we got to have him look at that and study that.
What in the... When was this released, Phil?
I saw that a few months ago.
You know what? If they gave the company more coke, they would finish the plane.
That could have been where the video was taken. That could be the little coke box. Right.
These guys went, hey, man, we'll do the middle. We'll get to the front and the back when we're done, man.
That's a really creepy Mile High Club right there.
Dude, that is stagecraft. I was going to say at its finest, but truly at its worst. Oh, my Lord. How bizarro is that?
It gets weirder and weirder, John.
It just keeps getting weirder. Now, should we dip into the Ingersoll Lockwood stuff?
Do you want to show the hippo first?
What do you mean, do I want to? Of course we're going to.
Because, we're almost halfway done, so I figure why not make someone laugh?
We need to show the hippo first. Stand by one. Let me get to the hippo. And I don't want to give away. It's funny.
From China.
From China. It's from China. It's the hippo from China. The majority of the stuff that you send me always comes with standby one. It comes
with
with
a warning.
gigantic warning that this may be dangerous, and I have to always click looks safe, and then I open up what you have sent, and I'm like, well, it really wasn't safe. It was Phil. He didn't ask for permission to be Phil, but it's Phil. All right, standby one.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I don't want. Come on. Did I accidentally give it away?
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
Well, the email said hippo fart, so I don't know.
All right. Well, there we go. Or how to get a seat on the bus.
Ooh. I guess that food in Ireland isn't settling well with Rosie, huh?
You know what? I knew you were going to do a Rosie. That was crazy. Come on, man.
Well, right. Okay, wait. Before we get to Ingersoll Lockwood, I got one more for you. Because we got to do one more. That one was so short. In the chat at the very bottom, I was impressed. Hell, I know in your age bracket, you might end up dating this woman. You'll probably look for her phone number.
My age bracket? Okay. Is this a 99-year-old gymnast? Oh, no.
She doesn't fall, though.
You are. There's something wrong with you, dude.
A little bit.
Actually, wow, she's 99. By the way,
incredible.
You know what I saw over the weekend? I saw because Trump declared May 8th the end of World War II, and we'll get to that in a minute. Apparently, Argentina has come out and declared Hitler did survive World War II, and he made it into Argentina. I'm going to play that clip. Actually, I'll play that clip next, and then we'll get into the other stuff. But
you didn't show the 99-year-old.
I had a train of thought. I'm trying to get
to
9-year-old. What I saw over the weekend was a 101-year-old American veteran meeting a 99-year-old German army veteran, meeting on their former field of battle since they were engaged in war with each other. It was amazing. You know what? In a war, nothing is gained at the loss of another, Phil. You have to remember that. Nobody won that war.
Oh, shut up.
All right. Yeah. Actually, we
kicked their ass.
Kicked their ass. Yeah, no, I was kidding. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to be all spiritual and shit. All right. Here we go.
That doesn't work for you.
99-year-old gymnast. God bless this woman. Watch this. Oh, yeah. I tap. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Oh, yeah. What time does the club open?
Right now, that 101-year-old American veteran is going, hey.
Yeah. He's going, hey. Whoops.
She's incredible, John.
I'll tell you, that is
powerful body.
That is very impressive. Wow, that is very, very impressive. I would tag that.
Oh.
Wow. Oh my God. That was listen, I gotta go take a break real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, John. That's somebody's great grandmother.
That's more. She's more than that to me, Phil. Oh, I just realized I left up the banner from Friday. Today's the 12th. Hold on.
Yeah, today's Monday.
Today's Monday. Stand by.
You watch that clip. You're gonna start playing the Bee Gees now.
She came on like the night, and she held on tight, and the world was right when she made love to me.
You're insane.
Okay, so this is the thing you sent with
Argentina.
No, we'll get to Argentina in a second. I want to play this.
Oh gosh,
this is.
Anonymous.
What do you call it? Yes, anonymous. Now, I'm always a bit suspect of these things because this is anonymous, but the information, some of the information at face value of these things are fascinating. So here we go.
Here, Donald Trump just cut off direct contact with Benjamin Netanyahu. Not a diplomatic hiccup, not a scheduling conflict, a break. Because Trump believes Netanyahu tried to manipulate him and sabotage peace.
And Q has said over and over and over again, Israel will be saved for last. I have lots of friends that are Jewish and Israeli Jews, and they are disgusted with Netanyahu, rightfully so.
Yep.
This isn't just about feelings. This is about strategy. Trump recently removed Mike Waltz, his own national security advisor, for back-channeling with Netanyahu.
Oh, okay.
Waltz had been holding unauthorized talks, reportedly pushing a more aggressive stance towards Iran. While the public heard diplomacy, others were whispering war. Trump didn't just ignore it. He demoted Waltz, sent him to the United Nations. That was the first signal. And now comes the second. Trump is done with Netanyahu, done being played, done being pushed towards another endless war.
Interesting.
And here's the kicker. It's not just our opinion. Major outlets from the Washington Post to Middle East Monitor are reporting this.
New York Times even reported it, dude.
Yep.
New York Times even reported it.
About freaking time.
Yeah, or as Mike King calls them, the Q York Times.
I don't trust Netanyahu anymore. At all.
Mike S. King, go check out his books, Mike S. King books. Mike King believes that New York Times, most of these publications have been capitulated, that they may be true. His evidence is very compelling that's the case.
Trump's
it makes sense. You remove all the other players. Who's the one constant there? Who's the one constant who keeps starting all this shit? Netanyahu.
Constant. And I thought you meant
You can move apart all these other pieces, but the one guy who's always in the center of it, and it's everybody else's fault all the time, right?
Yep. He calls him Satan Yahoo.
Not bad.
Is real. The Waltz demotion confirmed. This is a geopolitical earthquake, but the media won't say it out loud, so we will. For years, the nation state of Israel, not the Jewish people, not the religion, but the regime, has used America like a weapon. Weaponized loyalty, weaponized history, all while hiding behind the shield of faith. But Trump sees it now. He sees
he's seen it all along. He didn't just figure this out.
He's the Epstein web, the Mossad ties, the Maxwells, Ghislaine and her father, Robert, an Israeli agent embedded in media and power for decades. This isn't conspiracy. These ties have been long whispered in intelligence circles, and Trump's walking away from it. This isn't isolationism. It's clarity. He's not abandoning peace. He's demanding it on American terms, not Israeli ones. And to those on the left who still are infected with Trump derangement syndrome, stand down.
Stand down.
You are no longer the resistance. You are the interference.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Bury your egos.
Yeah.
A peacemaker is at the helm. And you, ironically, have become the war hawks. History will remember who stood in the way of peace. We are not your pawns. We are not your silence. My friends, we are all anonymous.
Oh,
Beautifully
now I got to go
said.
twist one
Yep.
off. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
John! John! You're
Now
going to give
I
us a
gotta go.
parental warning. Come on.
Now I gotta go.
It's about time, man. How many years have we been hearing this bullshit? Problems always that was a powder keg. Enough. Jesus.
It's about time. It's about
That's
time.
right.
It's about space.
Right.
About friend in a friendly place. I thought, was that stupid?
No, I'm all in on this. This is great. I just hope, John, I'm praying for him. I hope he's very careful, man, because there's a lot of knives out right now.
There are many who believe we're not seeing in any of these the real Trump at the moment, and I can't confirm, but that's a very interesting take. That every Trump we're seeing is
2.0.
not a or a disguise.
Right.
We know there's enough anomalies in his physical body where we go, that how did Trump just
Yeah, the golfing
gain or
one
lose
is the worst.
30, 40,
Right.
the golfing one. It looks like he's wearing a barrel. That guy-
He plays golf in the morning. He's 300 pounds.
Yeah, I
He
know.
gives a speech in the afternoon, and he's
He's
200.
2 inches taller and he's lost 80 pounds. Nobody painted. Same thing with Joe Biden and the ears and the height and the everything. It's ridiculous. Did
Yeah.
you see at the end of the interview on The View, he got up and he shook Jill's hand. Oh my God. It's so ridiculous. It's so absurd. So here's what I'm thinking, Phil. Let's do the deep dive tomorrow. I'm going to play the Argentina thing and Hitler. Let's do a deep dive tomorrow into what you found on Q. All right.
Okay.
I wanted to do some of it today, but that stuff can wait a little bit, I think.
Well, we can actually tell people if they go to Ingersoll Lockwood,
let's
just
start poking
highlight.
around.
Yeah, just right click the whole page, like highlight it like you're going to cut and paste. You right click so the whole page is highlighted down to the bottom, and you're going to see all of these little links pop up. And there's phrases and numbers.
And they all bring you to this 99-year-old grandmother who's doing these gymnastics on a parallel.
And a hippo farting.
It's unbelievable. It's
and then
amazing.
Tomorrow I hear the grandmother's going to be farting. So it's going to be great as she falls out the window and hits the car.
All right, stand by one. All right, so let me go back a moment and find the stuff on from Argentina regarding Hitler. All right.
And the president of Argentina, his name again slips me. Do you Bolaceres or what is it?
Milei.
Oh, Milei. Okay, so
Milei.
that's a different one. Okay, so Milei, he now apparently is releasing all those files on the Nazis that left.
I
Germany.
heard. I saw Laura from Laura's View in Tarot 2. She did a read on this close to a month ago, maybe more. And she said that this had already been released.
Okay.
And so I guess we're seeing the what do you call the lag effect. They love the lag effect. You know how this works. They release it and then everyone catches up to it, or I shouldn't say everyone. People try to catch up. There's a lot going on too. We have to remember that.
It's amazing how much is going on.
Yeah, it's a lot. So stand by one.
Because how many years have we heard rumors about all the Nazis escaping to Germany? To Argentina, right?
Right. We have been hearing it, and the story of him being dragged out right after he shot himself with Eva von Braun, his mistress / wife. And then,
the Russians this whole time had the skull, right?
And they burned his body because they didn't want it. It just, in retrospect, it reeks of deep state shenanigans, right?
They treated him like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. They had to burn the body and separate the head. It's like, guys. It was just a female skull. That's the thing.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! Oh,
yeah. Well, what here? It's sick.
All right. Okay. All right. This is redacted Adolf. This is when did you find this?
This morning.
All right. This is Javier Milei, and I forget this guy's podcast. This guy does good work.
Oh, he's
Adolf
fantastic.
Hitler didn't kill himself in a bunker in Berlin as the Red Army closed in. I think that's, we all know that was a fabricated story, or if you watch the show, you probably understand that. Hitler actually fled Germany weeks before that using a group of underground tunnels that led to an airstrip. And that airstrip was flown. He was flown from Berlin out. It took submarines, or multiple submarines that were used, U-boats that were then sent to Argentina. In other words, Hitler lived for nearly 2 decades more in Argentina, along with vast numbers of the Third Reich.
I will say this: there is a town in Argentina which only speaks German on the southern part of Argentina. My sister just visited it there 3 months ago. And if you enter this town, you think you would into some little village in Germany.
Well, now Argentinian President Javier Milei has just ordered the release of all remaining documents on all of those Nazis who fled Germany and moved to Argentina after World War II. Basically, It was almost like a second base of operations in Argentina. If you're not familiar with that, like basically the Third Reich operated out of Argentina and Germany. And
I did hear for years, someone floated this out to me. The German people lost the war, but the Nazis didn't. They just moved on.
Yep.
They're survivalists. They're globalists. They were globalists. The people behind the whole Nazi and communist movement.
And many of them, including Adolf Hitler, lived in Argentina well after 1945. Most people know that Hitler lived out his days in Bariloche, Argentina, until he died there in the mid-1960s. Yes, you can read the CIA documents about this. The FBI documents also about sightings of Hitler in this area. They knew about it. Of course they knew about it. It was largely facilitated, I think it's safe to say, by the United States and its allies.
Oh my God, wow.
Operation Paperclip, anybody?
Yeah.
Quid pro quo?
Also, if you look at
Operation Paperclip after the war moved 8,000 Nazi officials and scientists with their families to the United States, gave them complete immunity and autonomy to work on whatever it was that interested the United States, i.e. the space program.
UAPs.
Werner von Braun was a top Nazi. He was in charge of the V2, V2, they called it vengeance weapons projects that the Nazis used against the English. And if it weren't for him, some people say Americans wouldn't have walked on the moon, but he was in charge, Werner von Braun. And P.S. Werner von Braun on his deathbed admitted he was part of the NWO and said the last piece of the plan that was to go into effect was a fake alien invasion to galvanize the entire world under the one world government, new world order design, and with the central bank digital currency and a complete surveillance state. That was the final step in the plan, which is where Trump and the White Hats come in right now, which is basically where we are at the moment.
into this, the skull that is held in Russia that was supposedly the remains of Adolf Hitler with a bullet wound in it is female.
Yeah.
So when you look for proof that Hitler did in fact kill himself in the bunker, you are going to find a lot of dead ends.
Yeah. And all you need to read, you can read a great book on this called The Gray Wolf. It's a great book. There's many books written about this now. But yeah, the skull, the fragments, they ran the DNA tests on it. And the Soviets allowed them to do this testing. And even Stalin openly talked about that Hitler lived, that he was not there. So Stalin even knew about it. It's widely known in Argentina, by the way, well known, that Hitler sired 2 children while he lived in Argentina. Adolf Hitler.
I had heard that also.
Yep. One of them was allegedly the Chancellor of Germany.
Well, yes.
Merkel.
Angela Merkel is, yeah. Hitler's had a relative by the name of Schicklgruber who had Jewish ties, which the Nazi propagandists tried to bury. But there's an old, I don't know if you ever noticed this, there's a very old Three Stooges episode where Moe, Larry, and Curly are being chased. They're in Germany undercover or whatever, and they're being chased through German headquarters, whatever. And there's a picture of Hitler on a desk, and they stop for a beat, and Curly points and goes, "Oh, look, Schicklgruber." Did you ever see that episode?
No.
Yeah, dude, it's fascinating. Yeah. You know how good Moe did Hitler with the
wow, yes.
They stop for just a second, and Curly goes, "Look, Schicklgruber."
Breaking that third wall.
Yes, it was awesome. That was what
wow. John, in the chat, I just put it in there at the bottom. They said he escaped through tunnels. Everyone for years has been saying there's been tunnels.
There's tunnels.
And oh, that's a rumor. It's a rumor. Check this out.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes, I've seen videos like this. I'm going to put this up. You can't deny this. You can deny whatever you want, but
you can't. There's evidence right there. Look at the carpeting. Look at how well they did that.
You know what I mean? Denial is a very powerful tool. People will see what they see, but interpret it differently. That's what I mean when I say denial. You can't say you're not seeing this, but people go, "Well, how do I know where that goes? That's just a guy. We don't know where that." Whatever. Here's the clip.
So this is one of the neat things about the U.S. Capitol. Of course, this building, construction started in the 1700s, and there are all sorts of little hidden passageways. You saw I just pulled this cover up, and you can see if we get the camera to come over. Don't fall.
Look at that.
The cop claim today.
Whoa!
But you can see there's a passageway. These are long stairs
Those are steel girders, huh, John?
I can't tell. They look like it.
Closed
Yeah.
off. We're just off of what's called Statuary Hall, which at one time was the actual House chamber. So, and it's outside there. But this is just an example of some of the little hidden secrets in the Capitol. And so one of the things when we bring tour groups in, if it's a small enough group, it's a big group of people, but it's a small group, we'll actually take them down this hall. Believe it or not, my big self have actually gotten down and more importantly, out of this hall. I'm not going to debut that again for today, but suffice to say, I've been able to live and tell about it and get out of there. But it goes all the way down. It's an old staircase. And I'm told, I can't verify this, I'm told that this staircase, which opens to, if you go down, formerly opened to the outside, was one of the staircases that British soldiers used when they breached the Capitol during the War of, I think it was 1814, when they actually attacked Washington. When they came in, it was one of the stairs that British soldiers actually came up. So a lot of just amazing history in this building. And so when folks come from North Carolina, we try to show things that once it's a small enough group, things are timed right, and actually let folks go down there. The kids seem to love it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the kids love it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the kids love going down that hole.
Come on, kids, come down.
Things about the Capitol as well as the other day-to-day things that folks see all the time.
Wow. Now I'm sure you've seen, well, I'm not sure. Have you seen the images of kids coming out of the Capitol late at night, right after the faux Biden administration was installed? It was, I don't know why it wasn't all over the news. Firstly, they were shutting the lights off in the White House at 11 o'clock at night, not just the interior lights either. They shut off the lights all around the White House. It went dark at 11 o'clock at night for about a year and a half. And 1 or 2 or 3 of those nights, I remember they were showing images of ambulances and buses showing up to the front door of the White House, and children, unless they were midgets, I couldn't tell from the distance. They were all little people being let out in people in other, obviously, adults with weapons and military style gear. I couldn't tell insignia or anything else, but they were definitely wearing some type of uniform or military style gear, leading these children out of the White House in the middle of the night, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. No one ever explained what that was all about. Let me see if I can find any of it.
It's so creepy, John, because you see the tunnels, you hear the rumors, you
Right.
hear all the rumors, and then you get
Constantly.
the confirmation, and you see that, and you see a guy go, oh, yeah, the kids love it. They love coming down.
Right.
It's like, come on, really? And there aren't tunnels in LA where they don't have a subway. They used to have a subway, but we'll talk about that another time. But they couldn't have tunnels or subways because of earthquakes, yet every celebrity connected to the Playboy Mansion has a tunnel. It's gross.
All right, well, hold on. It's just showing a bunch of kids. House. I didn't put middle of the night. Middle of the night. Stand by one. Here it is. Here it is. This is it. I can't believe. Well, and this one is interesting because in this, yeah. Let me just pull it up. See when this is from. This is okay. This is 4 years ago. This is 4 years ago. Give me a minute. Share screen. Okay. And I remember watching this going, why isn't this on every news channel in America? I couldn't figure it out. Let's just watch. Huh. No volume. There's no volume on this freaking thing. All my volumes are up. All my volumes are up. No volume. All right. Let's just watch a second.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. There were vehicles lined up. Okay. Leave the White House on the night of Inauguration Day, 1/20/21. Why is there no volume on this friggin' thing? Stand by. Let me go back to YouTube. Give it a minute. Let me just. There's commentators talking over this in the recording, but let me get up to the point where the kids are actually We got a close up of the kids.
There we go. I heard some volume.
Did you?
Think.
No,
I think
that's
so.
that's a train in the background.
Oh, okay.
Stand by. I don't know what's going on here. Let me go back a second. Huh, that was weird. Bunch of kids on maybe that was just a security cam. I just thought I saw that chick Rita Rahani. Anyway, that was one of the videos where kids were being, maybe they were scrubbed. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what happened there. Whatever. You'll have to take my word for it or go look it up yourself. Let me try one more time. Oh, dude, what do you want from me? Hold on.
You have to go look it up yourself.
See, look. Oh, no, that's lefties losing. All right, yeah. Oh, there they are. There they are. Did you see it? Stand by one. Watch. You see? Take a look. There it is. Look. Do you see that?
Yep.
That was Inauguration Day. Okay, I didn't realize that it was just the beginning of the video. What's going on here? What the hell is this?
And nobody talks about those children that are missing, too. If there were 300,000 children missing, I mean, come on.
That's another thing. That was on my sister-in-law's list. You know, where's the Epstein files? Where's the missing kids? What happened to Maui? What about the Carolinas? What about the Cat 5 that hit Florida? I heard during the FEMA hearings last week, the people from Katrina still didn't get their money, their big $700 compensation for dealing with a natural disaster. All right. Yeah. Well, you know, tomorrow you want to do Skywatcher 2, and then we'll tease tomorrow for the deep dive on Ingersoll Lockwood.
Yes, and I also wanted to say that we might have a new sponsor.
Oh, who's that, Phil?
At the very bottom of the chat.
Should I?
Spirit Airlines. Yeah, Spirit Airlines. We've been getting insane activity from Spirit Airlines. So
I forgot about that. Yeah, they've been looking to advertise with us for. It's so great. You know how this works, Phil. I heard all about this clip from somebody else, and I'm glad you pulled it up.
It's the Carnival Cruise Lines of the air.
I got to say that, you know, all these cruise lines and all of these big companies have become so cheap and are gouging customers and are slowly forming them into corporate shills. I was telling someone the other day, when I was a kid, I worked in a service station and a grocery store, did all that stuff kids do. When I worked in a service station, we pumped the gas, we checked the air in your tires, we checked the oil, we washed your windows. When I was bagging groceries, we would bag your groceries, we would take them to the car for you. Now you check out your own stuff, you pay for the bag, you carry it yourself. What are you doing? And this is what's happening.
And that's exactly why Spirit Airlines, because you're going to be replacing this lady for the spokesperson of Spirit Airlines, because she's formerly.
Go fuck another dirty bitch.
I'm sorry, Phil.
Go suck another dirty bitch. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. Do not play with me, because I'm not the one nor the two. You're not the one or the two. Let's go. You ain't got shit done. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Name I take it.
Like I said, keep my fucking name out your mouth, bitch.
Oh, she must have taken PR lessons from Will Smith.
This is behind the counter at an airport.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here before I slap.
When you get that close, neither one obviously knows how to fight. I would have punched her right in the throat.
Shit, I know. Shit, try me. You think you're fucking try me. Try me.
I'm not going to smack you. I'm going to crush your larynx.
I be gonna drop kick your ass. Fuck out of here, you dirty bitch.
Come fly with me. Come fly. Let's fly away. Da-da-da. If you could use some exotic booze in a bar in far Bombay.
Yes, you are.
Come fly with me. Come fly. Let's fly away.
Fuck out of here.
Once I get you up there where the air is rarefied.
You and your raggedy ass fucking bitch.
You will fly starry-eyed.
Fuck out of here. Go.
Once I get you up there where the air is clear, you will hear
Fuck a dick.
angels sing, 'cause we're together.
Like I said what I said, and I said what I said. Please step to me like you want it.
Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day.
Go suck another dirty dick.
Once you see the birds down the rain, bound to Ock.
Oh man.
Dude, this is priceless.
She is great.
I wonder if she's single.
She's not done yet, though. That's the best.
All right,
part.
okay. And P.S. Spirit Airlines has the worst branding in the world. Their uniforms are black and yellow. They dress their employees like bumblebees. It is the worst look ever.
I'm not one of the two, bitch. You tried me 2 times. I want you to do it a third.
She's
it.
fantastic.
He's probably in charge of HR right now.
She looks. I forgot the comedian's name in New York. She looks like the guy who had the stroke from The Cellar. Oh, geez, he was in all the Schumer movies.
The humor movies?
The Schumer movies. The Amy Schumer movies.
Oh. No idea. Who you're talking about.
I'll think of it. Well, there at the bottom of the chat, before we let everyone go, there's an update on the Macron meeting from yesterday. I guess
this is important. Breaking news. Wait. This is we have found. Let me just change this just a second. We have breaking news, Phil. I changed the thing up here. So we
breaking
have
news. Okay, good. Yes, this is breaking.
We have some breaking news, and we have some updated information in regard to the alleged cocaine scandal. Here it is. Oh my God!
The internet takes no prisoners.
Internet takes no prisoners. I love it.
And this is just the stuff you're allowing me to send to show you, because we have that whole Kanye West song. I mean, apparently everybody's doing a remake. We got ukulele versions. We got country versions. I mean,
we'll get to those tomorrow. Right. Permission to be Phil. That's what happens when you grant permission to be Phil. All right. Good job, Phil. We'll follow up tomorrow. The stuff that Phil found in regard to Ingersoll Lockwood it's too much to get into on one show. So we'll do it tomorrow. We may even bleed over into the next day, but pretty amazing stuff. All right. Good job today, Philly. I'm John Maroney. That's Permission to be Phil. And we're gonna have KDJ on later on in the week, and Bruno and Kaz will be doing What's Up Down Under. So all to be revealed. We'll talk to you soon.